Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about well, recently I cut myself at work by accident uh on my arm, and that made me think like of all my injuries. So today, I want to review a little bit of my worst injuries that I've ever had. So yeah, just to get to know me more, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what games to talk about. Or I'm actually watching Tokyo Revengers right now, by the way. So that one's for you, Antonio. I'm like on episode. I'm on episode 7 right now of Tokyo Revengers. But anyways, let's talk about. I'm gonna make a video on Tokyo Revengers as well. So anyways, let's talk about my worst injuries in my life. So as a kid, I didn't get hurt a lot. You know, as a kid, you do get like scrapes and bruises. Like you do scrape your skin when you fall down, and I definitely had that. But I guess I never really got seriously hurt. I've never broken any bones. I have strong bones, okay? I've sprayed my ankles pretty bad. And in volleyball I sprayed my ankle. When I was in 6th grade, 7th grade, I also sprained my ankle, but I wasn't that strong. But in like high school, when I would sprain it a lot. I played football. I played but with the sprained ankle you could still run, and you could still like, well, at least that's what I did, you could still run and stuff. You don't want to like lay on bed when you sprain ankle. But if you break it, of course you're gonna you're gonna want to lay in bed. But whenever I sprain it, you could just run, and you could just, or maybe that's being young, you feel invincible, I guess. But anyways, the sprained ankle, but that isn't so bad. I mean, that's not so bad. I've never broken anything. Let's see. I played American football. I did fucking like get hit one time in American football, and I like something in my ribs didn't feel right, but that was nothing. I didn't break anything. And then let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. One time I went out with my friends. Louis, you were there as well. To a go-kart place basically. And basically those go-karts with those little tracks, and you drive around and stuff, and you race around the tracks. I got hurt there as well, believe it or not. So everybody saw it. Lewis saw this. I was racing around, and all of a sudden, my little go-kart turned off while I was making a corner, and some guy just rammed into me, and his go-kart went on top of my go-kart where I was sitting on, and that shit hurt. Okay, I think that was one of the hardest hits I've ever taken, because the go-kart was going really fast, and it hit my cart, and then it jumped up and hit me, going at pretty high speeds as well, and it hit my knee and my shoulder, and it went on top of me. One of the hardest hits I've ever taken, but thank God I didn't get hurt. Thank God, bro, I didn't get hurt. Well, the only thing what happened was I was limping because my knee was hit bad. My knee was hit really bad, but it took me like 2 days to recover. And my shoulder was sore, but my shoulder has always been sore, so it was totally fine. I was used to that kind of physical pain, so that was fine. But one of the hardest hits one of the most hardest hits I've ever taken. That thing hit me hard. I remember one time Lewis was like, "Come on, bro, you played football, it should be fine." But like, dude, a human hitting you is different from like a go-kart hitting you while you're standing still and while you're sitting down on a cart. In football, it's a human hitting you. They're running human speed. That go-kart was going fast, so there's no comparison there. I'm just saying, Lewis. All right. So yeah, one of the hardest hits I've ever taken, but it wasn't. I didn't get injured. I just My legs was, I was just, my knee just really hurt, my shoulder as well. So I was limping, and I was able to heal in like 3 days. I'm freaking Wolverine up in this bitch. I guess like during high school, I did construction with my dad because long story short, my family, we were building like a house, and that was my dad's dream, to build his own house. And we literally did everything from the ground up, like literally everything we did. We didn't hire no contractor, nothing. We did hire like we did hire like some helping hands, sometimes we would hire one dude to like, he was unskilled labor, but so was I was an unskilled laborer. The only one who knew something was my dad. He knew everything, like literally everything from construction he knows. Like, I'm talking about, we started with the foundation. We were digging trenches, bro. And I think during the construction, when we were building this house, I got hurt the most, actually. So let's see here. So I think I got hurt when I stepped on a nail. I stepped on a nail twice during the construction, and I learned that, oh, this is why people wear boots. This is why people wear those thick ass boots, those thick boots. I'm like, oh, okay, that's why people wear thick boots. Most likely. I'm like, yo, because like when I stepped on a nail, that shit hurt. It really hurt. And also, I also stepped on I stepped on 2 nails. That shit really hurt. And then after that, I also stepped on a branch one time, and that branch had some of the spikiest branches ever, and it went right through my shoe. A branch went through my shoe and stabbed my foot worse than a nail. That hurt even more, in my opinion. The branch went right through my shoe and into my foot, and it was stuck there, and I was like, oh my god, someone pulled this out. Thank god my brother pulled it out. I don't know why. The nail, you kind of just step off of it and I was good, but the branch was stuck in there. But anyways, that wasn't the worst one, because with the nails, I recovered in like 1 day. At the next day, my dad just wanted us to like keep working, like, you rested for like a day after the day I stepped on the nail, I stopped working. So the next day, I was limping, but I was okay, basically. Let's see. I think the worst injury has to be my my hand. All right, so long story short, we were like digging, we were digging, and we were trying to replace the pipes from back in the day that they put underground, the sewer system. Sorry, I'm not too knowledgeable about this. I was just doing what I was told at the time. But basically, that the sewer system, the pipes right there were made out of clay. They weren't made out of like thick hard plastic. They were made out of clay. So when we took it out, we kind of just tossed it to the side, and of course it would break. It's clay. It broke, and we just tossed it to the side, and there was a big pile of broken clay right there. And thinking about it now, that was kind of a safety hazard, I guess. But we didn't care, bro. Throughout the whole construction, we didn't wear hats or anything. Anyways, I think, oh yeah, I remember now. So the tub arrived for the new house, and me and my brother carried it, and we passed right by the pile of clay. And I couldn't see because of how big the tub was. My brother was carrying it on the other side, and I didn't see the clay because the tub was in my face, basically. And then after that, what happened was he was slowing down. I'm like, hey, why are you slowing down? He's like, just give me a sec. And then after that, when he started moving fast again, I started moving fast because he was in front of me. So he was like leading the pace of how fast we were going with the tub because we were trying to be careful. And then after that, I trip all of a sudden, and then I fall on top of all the clay, on top of all the sharp clay, broken clay basically. And you know, when you fall down, you use your hands to like, you know, to land, you know. And you know, my hand went like in the clay, and it basically almost cut off my fucking thumb. And the cut was so deep. I've never had a deep cut like that. I guess I could show a picture. I'm gonna put a picture up and just show you that I had to go to the hospital and get stitches and shit. And that was one of the worst injuries I've ever had. My initial reaction was like, "Oh, I'm good. And I looked at my hand and I was like, "Oh my god." I think the exact words were, "Oh my god, bro." And there was a lot of blood, bro. I felt a little lightheaded. I'm like, "Shit, this is a lot of blood." And yeah, I think that was the worst injuries that that was the worst injury I've ever had, probably. But it isn't so bad. People have way worse injuries. People be losing like limbs and shit during the construction. This it wasn't so bad, you know. But the worst part about that thumb injury, or oh yeah, by the way, you know, do you see like the cuts on my wrist? I'm gonna show a picture. All those cuts on my wrist all became scars. They never went away. All those wrist cuts that I got from the clay all became scars. They never went away. So yeah, if you're messing with, I don't know why you might be in this situation, just be careful with that clay. Don't fall in it if you guys have a pile of it. Now I just went to the bathroom real quick. Now I had to go. Now let me after that injury, I kind of just have to call this out. I mean, I do. I just have to. So, you know, any kid after they get cut like that, the next day, you know, they would be like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna stay in and not go to school. But my parents, they were like, bruh, dude, you could walk and you could write. You know, you hurt your left hand, you're good, all right? Like, stop being dramatic, you know? You're fine, okay? And then, so, you know, I was like, okay, you're probably right. So I went to school, and this was like the goofiest part about this injury. So I went to school, and then I gotta call this out, guys. Of course, you weren't included in this, Lewis. I don't think you made the joke, at least not that I remember. But a lot of guys at school, were making the same joke, and I just gotta call it out. You know, I gotta call it how it is. You guys were making the same joke. You were like, "Hey, Abraham, what happened? Did you beat it off too hard? What's going on?" I'm like, and I did find that. I find it funny right now. I found it funny the first time, but after like 10 dudes told me that in one day, I was like, by the end of it, I was like, haha, you're very funny, buddy. I beat it off. Me saying this makes it funny. I would be like, oh, yeah, I beat it off too hard. Yeah. Very funny. I'm like, oh, God. But throughout, like, at the end of the day, I'm like, oh my God. Why is everyone making the same joke? Like, can't we come up with something original, guys? What's going on here? Can we, like, come up with something else? And also, when some people saw the stitches, they were like, it was just funny. People's reactions were so goofy. Keep in mind, I'm a senior at this point, or I'm sorry, 11th grade. I forget, but I was around there. We're almost young adults. You know, we weren't teenagers, and it was funny. Some people were making like, there was like 10 dudes that made the same joke. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, these guys are all NPCs. Some of them are making the same exact joke. But I thought it was pretty funny at the end of the day. And after that, there was some guy that came up to me and was like, oh shit, can I see your stitches? Oh, you do? Oh, man. Damn. I might check you out then. I didn't know that. Damn. I bet you were crying, huh?
start this.
You were crying. Yep, you definitely cried. Yep. You cried, didn't you? Uh-huh. Yep, you cried. You were probably, and then he was mimicking me crying. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I didn't cry, you know. You could anybody who was there at the hospital with me could prove that. But he was like, you were crying, huh, buddy? He like really wanted me to, he wanted some kind of emotion out of me or something, like, yeah, I did cry. Man, I did cry. So that was the only guy who didn't say the joke, like, oh, you beat it off. Instead he was like, you cried, didn't you, buddy? Yep. Yeah, you cried. He must have been like, yeah, he was trying to mimic me, like he was trying to imagine me crying. I'm like,
and you're gonna have school soon.
Okay. I didn't cry though, but you could believe it if you want. I kept saying no, but you just didn't believe me.
Yeah,
So that was pretty goofy day. A lot of goofy dudes back at school, but I thought it was funny at the end of the day. Pretty goofy stuff, but yeah, that's pretty much about it. Anyways, I'm gonna make a video on Tokyo Revengers, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. So yeah, after I got that cut, pretty funny day at school, you know, pretty goofy day. Anyway, that's pretty much about it. See ya.